Heat advisories and storms are why today is a WRAL weather alert day. See where rain will be the heaviest this evening.
Severe storms bring gusty winds and heavy rain to some spots. We're tracking those storms from the WRAL Live Center and the WRAL Storm Track.
Then, a week ago, violence in the streets forced some businesses in Glenwood South to close early. The safety plans they have for this weekend. And your insurance premiums could be going up. The new state health plan has some cost increases. But it's not all bad news. The creative changes, they could save you a lot of money. As we take a live look at Clinton, where the rain is coming down, the storms moving east through our area tonight. We've had quite a few nights of rain this week, haven't we? Which has been good. A couple more might be on the way. Thank you for joining us here at 7 o'clock to close out your week on this Friday. I'm Dan Haggerty. The forecast is the big story tonight. We've been talking about security also on Glenwood South, so we'll get into that one. And a big one with the state health plan. Lots of changes to talk about and a lot more, so stick with us here and join the conversation. We love your feedback and your questions, so send them to 7 p.m. at WRAL.com. We've received so many emails this week. We love it. Please keep those emails coming. First up, the forecast. As we take a look at the radar right now, you can see those storms again east of Raleigh. A severe thunderstorm warning in Sampson County for the next few minutes. Kat Campbell joining us. This is what we want to see to kind of chip away at this drought, but we've seen some dangerous wind and some flooding along the way.
A report of a tree down on a house in Franklin County due to the strong winds that moved through with the severe storms earlier. The worst of the severe weather is over for Wake County, but there is still some rain out there. You can see it in Fenton and Cary. Rocky Mount Mills still seeing some rain as well at this hour. And there are 2 active severe thunderstorm warnings. Each of these just goes for another 15 minutes. The one that we told you about in Sampson County, that covers Clinton at the top of the newscast till 7:15. Another warning until 7:15 that extends into Halifax County. A closer look at that warning, a lot of heavy rain and some more lightning ramping up within that storm, but you just have about another 15 minutes to go, and then the worst will be over. Heads up, Edgecombe County, Tarboro, the rain is getting heavier. Around Wake County, it is now just light leftover rain, a little bit more rain left to our west around Jordan Lake and Chatham County. That will move in tonight, so you may be able to squeeze out another little bit out of that, but it's not going to be the torrential rain that many of us saw for the commute. In our southern counties, some light to moderate rain still falling in Fayetteville. We've got this warning in Sampson County over Clinton that's about to cross I-40 here pretty soon. And then as we head into the next several hours, the severe weather threat ramps down. But these storms did produce some damage across our area. Several reports of wind damage in the area as well. If you have any pictures of damage, go to WRAL.com/report it and share those. You can see over the next 2 hours, the rain will start to clear out of here, Dan.
Okay. Thank you, Kat. We do want to check in with Alex Littlehales. He's been driving around on the WRAL Storm Tracker tonight, checking on some of the conditions around our area. Now in downtown Apex, bit of a mess down there after some weather moved through, Alex.
Yeah, it's funny. It's actually a beautiful night here in downtown Apex. Just by the weather alone, you could not tell that just about a half hour ago, it was a much different scene here. So we're walking along the Apex streetscape project here on Salem Street, downtown Apex, where just about a half hour ago, those severe thunderstorms that blew through this area basically kicked up all of the construction that was essentially lining the street here on Salem Street. So the video that you'll see here is actually patrons from the nearby restaurants just enjoying a night out. They're essentially putting the barriers of the streetscape. They're putting some of the cones back in place because, as we were told from some of the restaurant managers here in Apex, they had to put the tarp back. There were bricks flying around. It was quite the scene. We actually have some new video that we'll be sharing a little later this evening about not only the patrons in the nearby restaurants piecing together the streetscape project before our eyes, but just the intense rain that happened in such a short window of time. So again, live from downtown Apex. We will have more of those stories coming up later tonight. But for now, live in downtown Apex, I'm Alex Littlehales for WRAL News.
That's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons I love this community. You see everybody jumping up, running outside, standing in the rain, helping out. Good stuff. Alex, thank you so much. Let's go back inside now. We'll talk to Brian Schrader's in the WRAL Live Center, keeping an eye on weather, too. We've seen pockets of some damage tonight from this stuff, more than just cones being pushed around.
We've had some trees down in Wake County and Wake Forest, also down in Fuquay, the southern side of Raleigh, getting reports of some trees down there. Also in the northern side of Harnett County in the Duncan area, a report of a tree down. This is a picture from Franklin County in the Youngsville area, a tree that fell on a house. You can see the columns there on the porch. Apparently moderate damage to that home, according to Franklin County Emergency Services. It looks like the people that live there will be able to stay in that house tonight. Here's a tree down in the Lake Gaston area. Thanks to Luann for sending that in. You can send in your storm pictures at WRAL.com/report it. We are seeing some power outages tonight in Wake County, about 2,000 customers without power. Also some pretty significant outages in Sampson, Halifax, and Lee County. And tonight, as those showers and storms moved through the Cumberland County area out at Pope Army Airfield, they measured a 53-mile-an-hour wind gust.
Thank you, Brian. Want to get now to a pretty important update today. You just want to stick with Brian for a little while? All right. Brian, you got anything else? We're having a little technical issue, and boy, oh, man, too bad. Could have stayed with Brian for longer. He is the man. All right, we do want to move on to this next story here because it's an important update that we got today, and this is after all of that chaos over the 4th of July weekend in Raleigh. A 16-year-old who is now charged in connection to the shooting in the Briar Creek area on Saturday night, just 16, and he's going to be tried now, we've learned, as an adult, facing multiple charges, including assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. 2 people were injured in that shooting, and investigators say the whole thing started after this teen takeover, as it's being called, at Briar Creek happened, where thousands of kids showed up, not long after thousands of people showed up on Glenwood South, a place where more shootings took place. We wanted to know, is this over? Or could this all happen again this weekend? And it brings us to our quote of the day. We will be appropriately staffed and will have additional officers available if needed. That's the quote of the day coming from the Raleigh Police Department. So police seem to be ready. They're prepared. And just in case, the businesses down on Glenwood South, they're preparing too. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar has the story.
It's quiet right here on Glenwood Avenue, just as it would be on any usual Friday afternoon. Business owners I spoke with tell me that they're not anticipating the violence that we saw last weekend, but they are making some changes, and they're hoping people still continue to support their small businesses. Walking into Super Rad Retro Lounge, you'll hear dozens of arcade games going off. But this weekend, you may see some security changes.
Of course, we're expanding our security hours to be a little bit longer. We will be more vigilant about who's here, who's in front of the bar, our security being aware of who's here.
Owner of the lounge, Steve Olson, says he witnessed the violence last weekend.
It was admittedly crazy on this street at that time.
Raleigh police say thousands descended on Glenwood Avenue, leading to shootings and fights overnight July 4th. Olson says he's never seen anything like this, and he doesn't expect it to happen again.
There's a reason we haven't heard of that before, and especially after the presence that it brought to the area, it's unlikely to happen again anytime soon. I would say don't let the events of last weekend deter you from experiencing this street. 160 hours a week, this place is quiet.
Down the street, Kerry Kidd, owner of the Dirty V restaurant, says business has been slower than usual. He says he understands the hesitancy, but hopes people keep showing up.
We're here to provide services and hospitality for people coming downtown, tourists coming in. And we just want people to understand, it is slower. This news, it does hurt us. We're hoping we can all come out of this as a team.
Raleigh Police Department tells WRAL it is appropriately staffed for security in Glenwood South this weekend and has additional officers available if needed. Now, I also spoke with Tin Roof Raleigh. They say that they are making some small changes to their weekend procedures. Other businesses I spoke with say that they are considering closing early permanently. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
All right, let's roll you through some of the big headlines on this Friday. These are the 5 things you should know right now. 3 Wake County elementary schools have structural problems that need to be fixed before the school year starts. We're talking about Creech Road, Davis Drive, and Durant Road elementary schools. The school board plans to meet Monday morning to approve some contracts to get those repairs done. A Cumberland County school bus driver is facing charges tonight. Her bus flipped over in a crash earlier this week. This was the scene Wednesday in Leland. 33 students and staff from Douglas Byrd High School were on board at the time. 2 adults and 2 children were hurt. Police tell us the bus driver, Annette Blunt, was speeding at the time. She went too fast around a curve and the bus flipped. Blunt now faces multiple charges, including reckless driving. The pregnant wife of a missing Fort Bragg soldier is pleading for help to find her husband. The Army put out a bulletin for 25-year-old Savion Anderson. He was last seen on post June 29th. Anderson's wife telling us that he struggles with his mental health. Fort Bragg tells us they are cooperating with law enforcement in this search. Got a recall alert to tell you about tonight. Kia is recalling 463,000 Telluride SUVs because of a fire risk, saying that the front power seat motor could overheat. They say until the repairs are made, people with these cars should park outside and away from buildings. NASCAR will honor racing legend Kyle Busch during a public memorial. It's set for October 9th at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's free. It's open to the public. Busch, as you probably know, died suddenly from severe pneumonia that progressed into sepsis. He was just 41 years old. So the state health plan approved another round of changes today, and one of them could take you back to 2012 era pricing. It could save you thousands of dollars in health care costs every year. So what's the catch? We'll talk about it after the break. And stick around for tonight's moment of nostalgia. We found a story from the drought of 2007 when something resurfaced in a river that brought crowds of people to its banks. Welcome back. It's time for a good question out of the 7 p.m. inbox. This one comes from a viewer named Scott. Scott wrote into 7 p.m. at WRAL.com and said, why is it that state employee pay is still way behind the standard? The whole point of a state job was less pay and great benefits. But now that's not the case. Benefits are not good. Everything is tripled for health insurance and prescriptions. So thank you to Scott for writing in. And he's right there, by the way. State employee pay in North Carolina has lagged behind the rest of the country. Jobs like state troopers and teachers have been ranked as low as 50th or 49th in the nation. With the new budget that just passed this month, everyone is getting a raise. How are those salaries going to stack up after those raises with other states? We don't know yet. We don't know what those other states have done yet. We have to wait for those rankings to come out. But I do want to focus on the second part of Scott's email, the part about benefits and health care, because earlier today, more changes were approved for the state health plan. I spoke to WRAL State Government reporter Will Doran about this, and he told me, yes, premiums are going up, but the state did find some unique ways to save money. All right, well, let's talk about premiums first. They are going up. Why is that?
Couple of reasons. One, inflation. Healthcare costs are rising. We got to recognize that. Also, state employees just got a raise in the new budget, so they felt a little bit more comfortable because of those raises, also raising the premiums.
And the state does realize that this is a pressure point for people. Everything's getting more expensive now, healthcare as well. But they have been getting creative and trying to find ways to make things less expensive for folks in ways that I've never really seen before within a health plan. Can you explain some of the highlights?
Yeah, this is absolutely a brand new system for everybody here in North Carolina, and really one, like you said, that we don't see a lot. They're going to a new tiered system for your hospitals, your doctors, all your healthcare providers. And some of them are going to be preferred, some of them are going to be what they call access, and some are going to be non-preferred. So the way it's going to work right now, if you're an individual on the standard plan, you pay $6,500 a month out of pocket. If you go to an access provider, that's going to stay the same. But if you switch to one of these preferred providers they want you to go to, you're only going to have a $4,000 out-of-pocket maximum. So you're going to save $2,500 if you use healthcare a lot. On the other hand, if you stay with one of these doctors or go to one who is in the non-preferred, your costs are almost going to double to $12,000 a year.
So people are used to the in-network, out-of-network. Now, if you're in-network, you have this separate tier, and you can go to these preferred doctors. But are these doctors the best doctors, or are they just the doctors who are willing to go along with this payment schedule or this payment amount? How do people know they're getting the right person or the best person?
That's a great question because, yeah, the way that the hospitals and the doctors got into this list was by agreeing to charge the state less money. So it's a natural question. Are they getting good quality doctors? Well, here in central North Carolina, in our region, it's UNC Health who's the preferred provider. So, of course, they've got a good reputation. And they say, look, we looked for places that were both high quality, had a lot of options, a lot of places for people to go get care, but were also willing to work with us on these lower charges.
Now, if I hear that, I'm saying I'm looking for a preferred doctor. And there are hundreds of thousands of other people in the state health plan probably thinking the same thing. So won't some of these people get overwhelmed? I mean, is it going to take people forever to get appointments, things like that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One, it's going to be incredibly frustrating for a lot of just regular people who are on the state health plan who might have to be changing their doctor now or face way higher bills. But also there's this concern of, like you mentioned, am I going to have to wait months to actually see somebody? And we actually heard from the CEO of UNC Hospitals today. She said that they're already hiring new doctors, new nurses, expanding their workforce to try to account for this.
So when does this start? How much time do they have to kind of build up that staff before it all gets going?
This is definitely going to be in place by January, start of 2027, but there's a chance that they actually put it into place a little earlier, maybe this fall. We don't know yet. We're waiting and seeing.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, Will.
Thanks.
All right, Kat, where do we stand with these storms moving through?
The worst is over here in our area. They're starting to push to the east now. Still rain and storms for Edgecombe as well as Wayne and Sampson counties, but that's moving on out, and it's basically just rain left behind. All the yellow boxes are the severe thunderstorm warnings, and those have moved to the east. I did want to point out, though, on the other side of your screen, there was a tornado warning earlier closer to Hickory. That has since expired. It was pretty much a quick pulse where we saw a little rotation and then things quickly fizzled out there. So that's not expected to be a threat. We're not expecting that to hold together and get here in the form of severe weather. There could still be some rain, though, as we head into tonight. So just keep that in mind. But the worst is now over. Rocky Mount still seeing some rain, a little bit of light rain in North Raleigh and light rain starting to taper off in Fayetteville, but not a ton left out there compared to where we were 2 hours ago with a very active and very colorful radar. We are likely to see a colorful radar again this weekend, especially Sunday. Saturday, 93. 85, though, for the high Sunday. Let's talk about that 85. In the morning, we're going to wake up to temperatures in the low to mid 70s. That's a sign that it's going to be humid still outside. Even though it's not as hot, it is still going to be pretty much just as humid on Sunday. High temperatures in the mid 80s, and during dinner time, we'll be in the low 80s. So you do get a break from the heat on Sunday, but that does come with a better chance for scattered storms. And I want to adjust those rain chances for you a little bit this weekend so you get a better feel for it. First off, they're going to be summertime storms, primarily during the afternoons and evenings. As this front drops in, though, we may see storm chances grow, especially Sunday. Looking ahead, tomorrow we lowered rain chances to 40%, especially during the evening. Sunday, rain chances up to 70% by the evening and at night. Sunday should have better rain coverage. If you do have outdoor plans tomorrow, in my opinion, I would keep your outdoor plans. Of course, have an indoor backup plan during the summer months with any storms. There could be lightning. However, I would just go about your day and your plans. And if you start to see any dark clouds in the distance, open up your WRAL weather app, check in on the radar, or make it easy on yourself and turn on your notifications. That way you'll be notified if rain or storms are approaching your location. 93 tomorrow, then we drop into the 80s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. The heat's coming back, though, by the middle and end of next week. We're in the mid to upper 90s. One thing to note, another adjustment we made to the forecast was bumping up rain chances a little early next week. That front from the weekend may kind of get stuck nearby and help to generate some additional showers. But that keeps temperatures down at least.
I like that. Thank you, Kat. Not every drought story is a bummer. We found one from 2007 about a 200-year-old boat that resurfaced because of the drought. It's your Friday moment of nostalgia after the break. Despite the rain, we are still very much in a drought. We've said it a lot. It's probably the worst drought North Carolina has seen since 2007. Many of you remember those days. We dug up a bunch of stories in the WRAL archive. We have a big playlist on the WRAL YouTube channel. Reports about tough water restrictions, struggling businesses, impacts to the state fair. There's a whole lot on there. You should check it out. One of those stories is about a riverbed in Edgecombe County when the dry conditions resurfaced a 200-year-old boat, and people came from all over to check it out. Thank you for watching WRAL News at 7 o'clock. Have a fantastic weekend as we leave you with this, your Friday moment of nostalgia.
Just below the Tar River Bridge,
Very interesting.
in the town of Old Sparta,
Man, it's amazing.
a large wooden object in the water is attracting quite a crowd.
Just wanted to come and look and see for myself.
State archaeologists say an 80-foot boat, thought to be nearly 200 years old, is resurfacing in the river.
It's exciting. To me, it's just history.
That's a nice boat. Nice.
I ain't never seen nothing like this.
Historians believe this is a pole boat, likely built in the 1820s. Vessels like these were used on the Tar River before steamboats, when Tarboro and Old Sparta were major port cities.
Not many have been found in North Carolina, which is what makes this exciting.
This boat was actually first discovered and marked underwater a few years ago. The drought makes it visible from land for the first time.
It's a major part of our history, and it's great to find something like this.
Crowds gather daily to catch a glimpse from the banks and the bridge.
If you see this one thing, then imagine what's up and down the river that we don't know about.
Now that the river level is this low, state archaeologists say they plan to come out here soon to study the boat.
It's exciting to find it. I just hope it stays intact long enough for the archaeologists to really be able to explore it more.
Historians like Monica Fleming worry the heavy visitor traffic could compromise artifacts before the boat's full story is surfaced. Mike Charbonneau, WRAL News, Edgecombe County.